Looking for the best digital ham radios? I've analyzed the top models for performance, innovation, features, and value. This in-depth analysis cuts through the noise, offering you clear, unbiased insights into the best digital ham radios on the market. Whether you're a seasoned enthusiast or a newcomer, this guide is your gateway to making an informed, confident choice. Price information and all ham radios mentioned in the video are available in the description. So let's get started. Number 3, Baofeng DM1701, Best Budget Digital Ham Radio. Baofeng DM1701 has the most consistent performance and availability amongst Baofeng's DMR offerings. The company has made other forays into the DMR segment with the Baofeng UV5R themed DM5R, but that was unsuccessful. The newer iteration to this line, Baofeng RD5R, has input from Radioddity as well and looks promising. However, there are still a few kinks to work out there. All that brings us back to the Baofeng DM1701, which has been fairly reliable and stable. If you look at the TFT color display, the menus, and the features, Baofeng DM1701 seems very similar to the TYT MD-UV380. The Baofeng radio has a significantly larger form factor and a different design. Besides, even though there are similarities between the menus and the programming software for both radios, they don't appear to be cross-compatible. For example, you wouldn't be able to use a code plug from the MD-UV380 and move it seamlessly to the Baofeng DM1701. The similarity of interfaces probably comes down to the fact that the DM1701 is sold by Radioddity, which also maintains its software. Radioddity was also involved with the MD-UV380. One of the effects of this overly complicated family tree is that the Baofeng DM1701 is compatible with OpenGD77. If you prefer this approach to DMR, the 1701 is a good companion. Even though it's squarely in the budget DMR category, the radio has quite a few features. It's quick and easy to program the radio through the included programming cable. Usually it is better to use a programming cable since the radio has room for 3,000 channels, 10,000 digital talk groups, and 120,000 contacts. A bigger contact memory is desirable to have the ever-growing contact list for DMR, but the available option is good enough and can handle the popular options. Users can also add to this list manually and even program the radio directly from the panel. It allows manual programming and is full panel programmable. One downside of computer programming is that the software is only available for Windows. Mac and Linux aren't supported. As a DMR device, it is compatible with Tier 1 and Tier 2, making it very capable at communication. It switches between analog and digital modes easily. When in conventional analog mode, the radio works on the 2 meter and 70 centimeter bands, 136 to 174 MHz and 400 to 470 MHz. Its RF output is at 1 watt, 2 watt, and 5 watt. That's good enough and allows a good range of communication, assuming there's a DMR repeater within range. Power comes from a 2200 mAh lithium-ion battery, which is more than sufficient to allow a decent use time for the radio. Overall, Baofeng DM1701 is a decent DMR radio with good features and an attractive price tag. Number 2, ICOM ID52A, Best Premium Digital Ham Radio. ICOM ID52A is the company's flagship handheld transceiver. It plays that role with an imposing presence and great features to boot. And when I say imposing, I mean this is amongst the biggest HTs on the market. How one feels about that is entirely subjective. Some people find the larger size and heft to be a comfortable and good feel in the hands, while others find it needlessly clunky. In some part, the larger size is due to some iterative improvements ID52A has received over the previous model, ICOM ID51. The most notable visual changes here are the bigger screen and the louder speaker. The display is 2.3 inches and adds a nice visual touch to the device. However, for a radio this expensive, the display falls short on some quality features. It's not all that bright and thus not clearly visible under the sun. The contrast could have been better, and the black color on the display has something of a gray touch. On the plus side, it shows information rather elegantly. Incidentally, this is also the first display on an HT that can handle a full-color waterfall. Similarly, the improved 750 milliwatt speaker is also very loud and offers clear audio. ICOM ID52A carries this great quality for receiver signals to the transmitted signals as well. The TX and RX quality on this transceiver are remarkable. It can function as a dual-band transceiver, working on 2 meter and 70 centimeter bands. For those who want something more to listen to, this radio will also receive broadcast FM and airband. Since this is an ICOM radio, the digital mode here is D-Star. It shifts from analog to digital rather effortlessly, and you can also use analog and digital features simultaneously. The radio uses its built-in GPS to work with ICOM's repeater list, thus ensuring that users have an easy way to find and connect to repeaters wherever they're located. The HT can use Bluetooth to connect to a variety of accessories or to your smartphone through the RSMS1A mobile app. The app expands the features and possibilities of the radio, while also making it easier to work with updates. Other notable features include a sturdy build and casing with IPX7 protection rating, so it's waterproof, good battery performance, compatibility with ID51 accessories, and a nice user interface. Overall, ICOM ID52A is a well-built and feature-rich handheld transceiver that's easy to use, has great features, and shows remarkable performance with options like Bluetooth and GPS. The radio offers amazing TX and RX quality and convenient functioning of analog and digital modes, and all these make it my choice for the best premium digital ham radio. Number 1. Yaesu FT5DR. Our top choice. As you look at the Yaesu FT5DR, it's impossible not to draw parallels with the lower model, the Yaesu FT3DR. Both radios have a similar design, features, and general functions. It's often said that Yaesu developed the FT5DR because the global chip shortage made it difficult to source the parts for the FT3DR. Thankfully, rather than throwing together a radio with what was available, Yaesu took the time to make improvements on the radio. Yaesu FT5DR has better voice clarity, works better with Bluetooth, and a relatively cleaner look. It is slightly larger and bulkier than the FT3DR, but the 5DR has a cleaner profile. This is especially visible with the buttons on the side of the radios. The FT3DR has something of a bulge with the buttons, while the 5DR is sleeker. It's a small change, but it works very well for the aesthetics. Differences aside, both these radios belong to the Fusion lineup and share overlapping features. Related accessories, including the battery, are compatible between these models. Speaking of the battery, while a 2200 mAh lithium-ion battery looks sufficient, it's a good idea to get another battery pack. The charging times can be painfully long, and it's usually better to swap batteries rather than waiting around for the pack to charge. Though the battery takes its sweet time charging, it does a good job when it's in action. The battery can last a day even when transmitting at the maximum 5-watt output RF power. The 5-watt output is fairly standard for handheld ham radios like the FT5DR, and this radio seems to handle it beautifully. The receive audio also appears better and louder due to the use of a powerful 1-watt speaker. Yaesu FT5DR is a competent addition to the company's Fusion radio lineup. The dual-band ham radio can work with VHF and UHF bands, with the compatibility to listen to 2 frequencies simultaneously. There are 2 independent receivers to work on these frequencies. 2 LED indicators above the display present visual feedback for the working of the A-band and the B-band. A key feature of the FT5DR is its implementation of digital communication, where it's worth comparing this radio to its close competitor, the ICOM ID52A. ICOM's offering is slightly longer and bulkier than the FT5DR, though it maintains a similar overall form. A quick difference between the two is that the Yaesu ham radio has a touchscreen, while ICOM 52 does not. The bigger question in choosing between these ham radios is whether you want Fusion or D-Star. Yaesu's implementation of the digital amateur radio employs C4FM communication with APRS. ICOM uses D-Star to accomplish the same. This means both these ham radios transmit and receive data for information like GPS coordinates, texts, and images. However, the APRS, with Yaesu's implementation, generally works better than ICOM's D-Star. Yaesu's use of C4FM also provides excellent features like automatic mode select, digital group ID, and smart navigation. When using features like smart navigation, users can track their location or route and save it to a microSD memory card. Similarly, you could use the microSD card to store pictures you intend to send or receive. A lot of data can go into the memory card. Yaesu FT5DR will also accept software updates through its microSD card. Since so many features find their place in this expensive package, we expect it to be strong and rugged. The FT5DR doesn't disappoint on these points. The ham radio has an impressive build quality. It's rated IPX7, which means it's waterproof and can spend a few minutes submerged without being damaged. All these features make it my choice for the best digital ham radio on the market right now.